Okie dokie, I think we're streaming. I think we're working. Always a challenge when we go live with Pixel Chatter. Welcome to Pixel Chatter number 47. G'day, Chance. G'day, Dave Tadu. G'day, Gianni. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Just find my mouse. There it is. Good stuff. Another fun week for everybody, hopefully. G'day, Rick. Having some coffee out of the Pixel Chatter cup. You'll notice I've changed the spot or the location of my camera. Maybe you'll notice, maybe you won't. I don't know how attentive you are. We can see the worldwide sticker board up there nice and clearly behind me. Who else we got tuning in? Looks like everything is working well, which is good. G'day, Dennis, Gary, Susan, Tim, Ren. G'day. Good morning. Hello, Greg. Well, we've got a jam-packed show today. All the normal stuff. So we are going to look at what's in my box. It's pretty exciting this week. Have a look at this. Woohoo! So this was in my box. Sent over from Rob Roy, who said he couldn't make it to the live show, but he'll be watching the playback. So thanks, Rob. We'll get to your shipment in a second because I can't wait to open it. Actually, I've been looking at it for the last few days, thinking I should just open it and have a peek, but I thought, no, you know what, we'll open it together on the show. I'm back. I think I'm back. You know what's interesting? I can actually hear the fan in my computer struggling. Yeah, I think I can actually hear it struggling. Isn't that interesting? All right. All right. Hopefully everything's working. I don't know what you can and can't see. So, is it all working? Yes, good. I was just, as it was restarting there, I could actually hear what sounds like a bearing gone maybe in the fan. So maybe that's the problem. Because what's happened since last time, we changed the settings on the camera. So that's been changed to try and lighten the load on the computer. And we updated the software. And it still doesn't work. But I think by now you all realise I'm a pretty persistent little guy. And I'll just keep punching away until I get it right. Till we get it right. Alrighty. Let's see, where are we up to? Here it starts once again. Thanks, Tim. Yes. Has Ren been out on adventures? Ren's always out on adventures. Very inspiring. Aussie, time to make a coffee. Yeah, hopefully in your new cup, my friend. Mixed drink for Dennis. Rum and Coke for Chance. Nice. I wonder, I've got like a English parent, so I say Chance. Is it Chance or Chance? Just tell me if it's Chance, say it's number one. If it's Chance, say number two. Let me know in the comments box so I can make sure I pronounce your name properly. Ren, checking out some wildflowers. Yeah, I tell you what, that's what's going off in WA right now. Must be flowers everywhere over there with spring hitting. Let me see. Susan, g'day. Yes, back. Aussie, 8 a.m. is too early for rum. Come on. Aussie Paul. Never too early. Rum and cornflakes, says Greg. All right, good stuff. Chance number one. So it's Chance. I think that's what I said for number one. Susan, audience is persistent. Thank you. I appreciate that. G'day, Brian. Welcome. All right, let's get into it. Not exactly sure where things cut off, but I was telling you about this parcel that was in my box. We'll get to that very, very shortly. Before we do that, a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. Let me just readjust my screen after restarting. Everything sort of resizes and does funny things. So, let's jump in here first. Big Oz 1977. Kogo Pops Rebecca and YouTube. Nice. Good Saturday. Welcome back. Here we go. So, I wanted to just quickly let you know about our Tassie trip coming up. We have a total of 4 bookings booked in. 3 of those are on 3 legs team. So we've got 3 people from the On Three Legs team coming along. So it would be good to really have the whole group be on 3 legs. Of course, I'll run this with Michael as well. So he's got somebody from his crew coming along at this stage. But it's good to have a mix anyway. But certainly, I think there's quite a few of the On Three Legs team wanting to get along there. So if you're keen, places are filling up. I know Michael's heading away on a holiday. So if you want to book in, just contact me and I will help you register. But what we're going to do, it's a 5-day Cradle Mountain photo workshop coming up on the 5th to the 9th of May. No guarantees we'll get an aurora like this one, but you never know. We do keep an eye on the weather, and if the night skies are clear, we will go out and I will be teaching how to do astrophotography. And then we've got some wildlife photography, beautiful views of the lake from all different angles. Cradle Mountain's an amazing place. Fungi, macro, and that's just Michael and myself there. You can read about the 2 of us if you want. The link is down below in the description. So if you want to come along to this workshop, it's a lot of fun. Everything is included except for your flights and alcohol. So you can get along. We will feed you, water you, and transport you to and from all these amazing locations in our little minibus and give you tutoring and help along with some other workshops as well. So some of the workshops that I run and that Michael run during it are in the classroom style. So if the weather turns a bit south on us, we have some indoor activities to help keep you educated and inspired. So one of the things that I do is I run a Lightroom session and a small Photoshop session to teach you how to use the both to process your photos. So if you want to come to Tassie with me, spots are filling up fast. Early bird was extended. I don't know if that's on here or not, but the early bird was extended till October 15. There we go. You can see he's actually put that on here now. 15th of October. So the early bird discount, you get $2,895 instead of $3,195. So you save $300. That's per person, twin share. We put you in a room with somebody that you'll get along with because you're both passionate about photography. You don't spend a lot of time in your room anyway. It's just sleeping. So there you go. Time to trade in the Commodore 64. Yeah. I think I'm just going to have to give this to Apple. I've been putting it off because I rely on this so much for so many things. And the only time I'm having problems with it is during the live stream and sometimes when I'm editing my vlogs where it, loads the CPU up. CPU? CUP? CPU, yes. Hey, hopefully everyone's doing well. Cheers. Some more coffee. My Pixel Chatter cup. Yeah. All right, so let's look at what's in my box. So here we go. During the week, I posted this up in the VIP group. As you can see, got a parcel delivered to me. And if you want the address where to deliver stuff to the box, it's down below in the description. It's a bit small on here. Can't even find it. There we go. I'll see if I can get you to see that. There we go. That is the place you send stuff to if you want to get into my box. This one's a bit hard to open, so I've brought in some scissors. And we're going to have a look and see what's in this box. So let's do this. I can hear that fan trying to work. It's not good. That's how it goes. How's everyone's week been? Hopefully you've been out taking some photos. Crikey, this is not going to be easy. I probably should have done something to make this easier earlier. 26 degrees here for today. 26. Is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? Because if that's Fahrenheit, that's bloody cold. If it's Celsius, that's beautiful. Oh, come on. Let's see if we can get this box open. Oh, there we go. Getting there. He's done a good job of sealing this up. Here we go. The lid is coming off. Oh. What's in there? A bit more cardboard. Let's move that out of the way. The suspense has been killing me all week, so let's have a look. Let's get into here. Alrighty. So it's from Rob Roy. He sent me a self-addressed envelope, which is important. A little note in here. Let's read the note. A little note in here. Hi, Ben. Sorry this is late getting to you. My wife decided to make the magnet of Vancouver. Awesome. We haven't seen that yet, but we'll see that very shortly. And we found this coffee cup for you as well. I know you have plenty, but you can really have enough. Can you really have enough coffee cups? Never. Anyway, enjoy, and thanks again for all your hard work and helping us make us all better photographers and build on this passion. Hey, it's what I love doing. Thank you. Nice letter. All right, let's have a look in here. Let's see what we've got in here. So definitely a coffee cup. And let's have a look. Awesome. Look at that. So his wife made that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So that magnet will get stuck up on the worldwide sticker board. I'll put a flag in for him up there at the right place. So if you can see up there, I don't know how well you can see it, we're starting to populate the board. So we've got Tommy up there in Hong Kong, who I haven't seen on here today. I hope he's all right, because they had some pretty wild weather go through there wherever he was the other day. And I see he marked himself safe during the hurricane, but he's not on this morning, which concerns me. So hopefully it's all right. Hopefully it's just that the internet's down. And then you can see around Australia, we've got a few flags. I don't know how well you can see that. Up there in the US, we've got a couple of flags. We've got one from Chance up at Arizona. And then on the other side of the United States, we've got Florida sent in. So we're starting to populate the board, which is good. We've also got one in New Zealand in the Bay of Plenty. So things are starting to populate. So if you're not up on that board, or there's no flag in your area of the world, then what you need to do is send something in for the worldwide sticker board. You do that by sending something to the P.o. Box that's down below. I'm just going to finish my coffee before it goes cold. So that Vancouver magnet will be going up there. And let's just check out this mug. So there's a mug in there as well, nicely wrapped up. Oh, beautiful. That's nice, isn't it? So I'm going to assume, because my geography is not good, but that looks like it's going to be Love Canada, maybe? Love Vancouver? I don't know. What part of the world is that? Have I got that right? I think so. I hope so. Oh, something inside it. Here we go. What's it say? Because these items are handcrafted, no two are exactly the same. The glazes react with high firing temperatures. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Vancouver, Washington. That's what it is. There you go. If you have a look in there, it actually says it in there. So it's not Canada. Why am I saying Canada? I get confused. It's Vancouver in Washington, which is over the other side of the States. Beautiful. Thanks so much. Love it. Love it. Vancouver, Washington. Because there is a Vancouver in Canada, isn't there? That's why I'm getting confused. That's awesome. Thanks for that, Rob. I really appreciate it. And that'll go up on the worldwide sticker board. And the cup will sit back here. Next to, we've got a shot glass from Bathurst. We've got an Arizona cup. And now we've got a Vancouver one as well. Alrighty. Okay, let's get into it. Check the comments. I should be back. Can you hear me? All should be good. Holy moly. It's going to be one of those days, is it? I actually think it's got something to do with this camera. As you can see, this camera, it's all pixelated. So I have to change the settings for this camera every time. So I think, but I can hear the computer whirring away as well. But I'm just going to fix this camera up so you can see me clearly. But see how it does? There's something weird. And then, there we go. You got a close-up of my ear there, didn't you? That was interesting. Okay, what's going on? Let's have a look. Oh, and I can hear the computer whirring away terribly. It's not good at all. Yeah. Where am I? Yeah, I think the computer's going to have to go in for a service. So I'm going to, at this early stage, I'm going to call it and say there won't be any Pixel Chatter next week because I'm going to put this computer in and I don't know whether I'll have it back by then. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to put it in for service and then see what happens. I might take it up there today and drop it off because it's definitely got a problem that no one is able to fix. So I'm going to give it to Apple. But I've resisted Apple because the amount of money they want to charge to just even look at it. Okay, where are we? We're up to that. Chances 40 degrees. 3.7, Gary. 3.7? Crikey. Greg, worst week ever, Dad's funeral. Ah, sorry to hear that, Greg. That's not good at all. It's not good at all. Sorry about that, mate. Well, we're all here for you. So whatever you need, the group is here to support you. Buffering, yes, we were. Buffering. That's good, BB. Buffering Ben. Yeah, BB. That could be my name. Buffering Ben. I'm always buffering. Rot row in a Scooby-Doo. Okay. Rot row. Time to update. Yes, it is. Time for another drink. Crikey, there's more comments down that I'm missing. Here we go. Toot Tasmanian bound. Hey, enjoy yourself, Anthony. Make sure you share some photos. Leave it pixelated. I'm prettier that way. Thanks, Aussie Paul. I could do that. It's terrible. You know, we could go like something like this. And then there we go. You want that? That's what you want? I can do that. I don't understand it. I don't know why it plays up so much. There we go. How's my ear? Did you like my ear? Anyway, all right. I think we can just get stuck into the next stage of the show, and we're going to fumble our way through. We'll see how we go. We may not get to everything because of what's going on with the computer and the live streaming. It's a little bit of a problem, but we'll do our best. All right, let's have a look at the VIP challenge. If you're not aware of the VIP, the On Three Legs channel is completely brought to you by Patreon supporters, and I do that because I get a lot of requests. You know, it's funny, you don't need a big following to get a lot of requests from companies wanting you to promote their goods and services to your followers. And I don't want to be one of those YouTubers or people that just takes on anyone to take money. So I made the decision to start a Patreon. Maybe, I don't know how long ago now, maybe a year ago now. And some of you have been amazing in supporting the channel, and it really does make a difference. There's a lot of work goes into this. To the point where I'm going to hire an assistant to help me with some of the content because and the website's being redeveloped. So you know, the money that you pledge each month is going into redeveloping the website to be able to put better content up there, and I'm going to hire an assistant to help out with more regular content. So you know, you should see that happening. I'm going through the interview processes at the moment, but I'm going to use those funds for that. And then once we reach $300 a month, I'm going to get a stabilizer for B-roll to make the B-roll a bit better as well. And I've got a bit of a content creation plan coming up to really ramp up the amount of content that you see. So all of that is thanks to the Patrons. It's amazing that you support me in this journey because, you know, it's not my full-time gig. I've got my own business, but I'm passionate about photography and you know, helping other people take better photos. I've never been a fan of those that don't want to share locations or techniques, because I feel that the world's a big place. We can all take photos and enjoy the hobby. So thanks to those Patrons. All right, so if you want to be in the reason I said that, by the way, is the VIP challenge is for the Patreon members. Once you become a Patreon, you become a VIP, which is a very important photographer, and that enables you to be able to play in the challenges, which I'm going to bring up right now. The boss is now the assistant. I'm the assistant to the boss. No, we're getting somebody that I can boss around. All right, let me get into the VIP group, because, of course, being thrown out meant that everything that I had preloaded is no longer preloaded. But I want to jump at this because we did wildcard this week and really got some great entries. It was interesting to see what everyone wanted to shoot. So let's jump into doing this and having a look at some of the wildcard entries. All right, let's hope this all works well. So, every week we have a challenge. This was challenge number 26. It was wild card. Actually, I just want to check and make sure I'm on the right Wi-Fi. Yep. So let's have a look at some of the entries. Alrighty. So this one was Steve Algie. Black. He says, still on my black and white fix. He's been taking quite a few black and whites, but they're great. Great. Rob Roy, downstream from historic waterfall and an old machine shop in the background there. Nice and soothing. Rob Roy, further downstream with a wooden bridge. Steve Algie, Yahoo, finally got to see some beautiful colour, so decided not to do black and white. Look at that sky, beautiful. Stephen Algie again, he said the last one for this challenge. Lone Tree at Rosebrook with a Canon EOS M5. Stephen Cast, he's from Bay of Plenty up there in New Zealand. Dramatic Sky, and I believe this is just around the corner from his house. How lucky, beautiful. Again, Stephen Cast, a driftwood log leading to Whale Island. Love it. Great shot. Stephen Cast, not a cloud in the sky. East Cape in the distance. Nice. Brian Willett, a bag of tea bags. Loves his tea. Ren Thielen, micro wildflower season in WA. Macro wildflower. Oh, yeah, so lots of wildflower opportunities in WA right now. So there's another one from Ren, macro button daisy. That's very cool. Cool shot. I love how that spirals out there in the middle. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Another one. Macro Wildlife's WA from Ren. Jill. Just bought a second-hand macro lens and her first attempt using it. Good job, Jill. You're going to love that. Chance. He said, I admit it, it's a leftover, got no shame. Alrighty. Brian Willett. Another great shot from Brian. Beautiful looking flower. Love the little water droplets on there. And these look like succulents of some sort. Nice shot. Lots of shots for the VIP challenge this week. Rob Roy, late afternoon, fog on the beach. Very foggy. Alrighty, so that was all the entries. Alright, so the honourable mention goes to, let me find it. There it is. And the boss picks these out. Honourable mention goes to Steve Algie for the Lone Tree here at Rosebrook. Nice shot there. Lovely composure. It's sort of a trick on the eye because of the hill. Makes it look like the horizon might be off. But if you look in the background, the horizon is fine. And there's a bit of cloud there behind the tree. So it's nice. And the boss picked the winner to be, let's have a look. Here we go, Brian Willett with his yellow flower. Well done, Brian. And well done to everybody who participated in the challenge. And like I said, if you want to be involved in the VIP challenge, pretty simple to do. Head across, just look down to the links below, but you can go to patreon.com/on3legs, and that'll help you understand how to become a VIP, a very important photographer. We have a fun, bustling community online where people are sharing their pictures and, hanging out together. I believe we've made some good friends too. There's some people that live close together, have gone out shooting, etc. So, being a VIP is more than just being on a Facebook group. There's other benefits as well. So, well done, guys. All right, let's jump into some critiques. I've got 2 critiques this week that I'm going to attempt to do. I need to change my screen. Here we go. Okay. Lightroom, where are you, Lightroom? What have you done to me? Oh, no. Okay, you're going to have to give me a second because I've just realised that the restart has got rid of the critique photos. So now I need to go back and find them. Okay, and re-import them. So talk amongst yourselves for a second whilst I fix this. Oh, come on, computer, please let me do this. It's not happy. It's not happy. Oh, wow. Yeah, well done to those guys for those photos. Come on, Lightroom. It's not happy. It's not happy. Let's try again. No, it's not happy. I'm going to cancel that. Let's get out of that for a second. Oh, it's trying to do something. Come on, Lightroom. No? Okay, let's start again. Why didn't that work? Let me look up here. What happened to these photos? Aha. Ah, yes, I found them. Okay. Won't be a second. Won't be a second, and we will be... Now it's not letting me move that. Why? Let's put that in there. Ah, this must be riveting viewing as I fix this problem. I can only imagine. Here we go. Oh, I think we're there. I think we're there. I think we're there. I think we're there. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. Come on, Lightroom. All right. I think we're there. Okay. Here we go. 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 It's coming. It's coming. Here we go. Yes. So what happened was when I restarted the computer, we lost. I lost the photos that were sitting in here. So we're now live. Okay. So, 2 photos here, one from Rob Roy and one from Richard Higgins. So the one on the left is from Rob Roy, one on the right from Richard Higgins. We'll go through both. You'll probably recognise this one from Rob because that was what he entered for the challenge. And then we've got this one from Richard in black and white. And hopefully all the notes came across. Yeah, Joshua Tree National Park. And this one is downstream a bit from the creek, the machine shop that Rob had taken. So let's start with this one. Let's get stuck into it. So we'll look at the technical details and then we'll have a look at composition and processing and see what we could change. Technically, so it was shot with a Nikon D850. Rob's in the D850 camp, which is a great camera. For detail, I don't know. Did everyone see that photo I posted earlier in the week where I was getting the vlog ready that I'm going to release tomorrow night, and I was processing a photo that I shot directly into the sun, and the dynamic range on that thing. I thought the D810 was better, but wow, the dynamic range on the D850 just blew my mind away. So yeah, amazing. Anyway, all right, so. This was shot with a D850 with a 24 to 85 millimeter lens at 24 millimeters. Shot at f16 at the 24 millimeter point, so the widest it will go at ISO 64, which is the base ISO for that camera. You should always shoot with your base ISO as low as you can go in any type of photography because it just reduces the risk of noise. Anthony says it's okay. My highlight of the show is always the pano crop. All right, well, it's going to happen. I'm just going to shut my mail program down because that's just going to take energy. I just noticed I left that open after importing these photos. Greg says, wait for it, here comes the pedo. You guys just know me so well. Let's talk about composition for a second. And to me, I think... let's just make it so you can see that a bit bigger. There we go. Actually, let's just get rid of this down the bottom. We don't need this film strip down the bottom. There we go. Okay, so a few things going on here, and I will open this back up. We'll go into the develop module because I think, and this is a recurring theme every week, is the white areas of waterfalls, so easy to blow the highlights out. Now, it has been rescued to some degree in this image, but once again, I can see that that's pretty close to being blown out, if not being blown out. Looks like it might be solid white. Let's just see how far. Yeah, it doesn't take long for me to find those pixels. So you're just going to be really careful. Once again, probably doesn't matter so much sometimes. Sometimes you just got to let it happen. With something like the D850 that has that dynamic range, don't be afraid to underexpose, and you'll find that you'll save the hassle of having blown highlights. The other thing, when you're doing photos like this where there is a lot of sun, I mean, I can see it's quite bright up here as well. I'd say those highlights actually look blown on the trees here. Yeah, even though I've increased the exposure there, but I can see even with the exposure back set where Robert sent me the photo, I can see that those pixels are gone. Once again, it doesn't matter so much, but I could see straight away that this tree was totally blown out. Like there's a lot of blown out pixels on there. So just be wary of that, of your exposure settings. And it's probably one of the most common mistakes people make is they overexpose. And it's relying once again on that preview in the back screen. And the only way around it is to look at your histogram or put your flashing RGB highlights on. And I recommend, that's the easiest way, put your flashing highlights on, take the shot. When you do the preview, if you see any flashing, then you can do something about it, take another shot. The other thing is just when you're going to take photos of things like this, do bracketing. Just do some underexposed shots. So this shot was, if we look at the EXIF data, was this is HDR, I think, because I don't seem to have any shutter speeds. You see that? So I think he did say he did this in HDR from memory. So he's got 4 seconds at f16, but I think I read somewhere in his email that he was doing HDR, but there's no second shot, which typically means it's been merged like as a HDR. So just be careful, because it will take pixels that are blown out, and it has done that here. From a composition point of view, I understand that this building is a significant building. Let's just go to 1:1 maybe. Yep. But it doesn't add to the shot. So yeah, you're right, guys. There is going to be a crop coming up, and yep, it's going to be a pano shot. Let me unlock that. It is going to be a pano shot, because I feel like that's going to be the best treatment of this shot. I'm actually going to crop in a little bit to the right. Actually, I won't do that just yet. Let's just exit out of that for a second. If you have a look over here on the right, this here, you can cut things off, right? But try and have more of it in the shot if you're going to leave it in, because it just becomes a distraction when you've got a little piece of rock jutting out like that. So just when you compose, keep an eye out for those things. So when I crop this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that down to get rid of that building, and I'm going to actually bring it in slightly to get rid of that rock, because it just doesn't make sense. And let's have a look at that now, and just see the difference in that. So without that building, it makes it a different shot. Still, I'm not 100% happy with the composition, and that's always a difficult thing, because I wasn't there, so I don't know where you could or couldn't stand. I'm actually going to bring this in a bit here as well, to put this rock on one of the rule of thirds, and if you can see that rock and that sort of swirling around that rock is on the other rule of thirds, and we'll just see how that looks. Yeah, to me that's now lost a bit of this over here, so all this water rushing here. So it is just a challenge, isn't it? So let's bring some of that back, because I actually like that part of the water more than this part. So let's try this way, which means we're going to lose that up there, but we can probably do something like this. I think we can do something like that. Oh, let's bring this back into the middle. Yeah, it's tricky, right? I think for this particular shot, I probably would have shot a different composition when I was there, because this is just quite tricky to get right. I'm struggling. And if you got some ideas, let me know. Maybe I could just leave it as it was originally shot. Let's do that without that building. But let's go back to the pano, nice and wide like that. Just actually, let's just go back to the full size for a second with the rule of thirds on there. I really want to stress, I know rules that are made to be broken, but when you've got something like this where there's a lot going on, if you don't have a focal point, so you can see the crosses on the rule of thirds aren't really on anything, putting the horizon on this top line is a smart move. But if you have a look, there's just nothing, there's no focal point. So looking at this image, and I'll get rid of the sidebars and just so you can have a look. And I think that's a real challenge from a composition point of view, because you want to have something there that makes the viewer go, oh, that's awesome. And sometimes what you can do is, get in nice and close and change the composition slightly to make something a feature, like, get in real close like that and get these rocks in there. So you can sort of just think about that when you're taking the photo, because I think you'll get a better result. Yeah, I think from a processing point of view, as I said, it's overexposed. There's not a lot I can do about that. I mean, I'll drop the highlights down here, but I'm not going to be able to fix it because, it's got details missing. A little bit of detail, clarity, a bit of dehaze works nice on water, a bit of vibrance, a bit more contrast. To me, that's starting to look a bit better. Let's bring the shadows up in the foreground. Not a lot else I would do to that. I think the white balance is off slightly. Something's not quite right, so I'm just going to drop that. And I've showed you this trick before where you get the the little dropper, and you pick a target that's neutral. Hopefully the computer doesn't crash, the fan's going crazy, so just get ready. And what you want to do is you want to make the 3 numbers at the bottom of this little box I'm doing around. So you get the little eyedropper from over here. I'll show you again. So over here where your white balance is, click on the eyedropper, drag it over to your photo, find something where the numbers are pretty equal. So you can see 73, 74, 77. You just move it around till you find something that's really quite equal. 55, 56, 58, and you click on it, and then that adjusts your white balance to be relatively accurate. And that's definitely better. So here we go. Let's have a look at before and after. So that was before, and this is after. So you can see just the difference of making those few changes. Before and after. Okay, before and after. And I've removed the crops. There's no crop there at the moment. I was struggling to crop it to something else. So there's after. Okay, before and after. So just a few little tweaks makes a big difference. But good shot otherwise, Rob. It's good to see you getting out and about, and challenging environment, taking photos of running water in the middle of the day. Definitely a challenging environment, but good job. Good job indeed taking that photo, and thanks for submitting that in for Pixel Chatter. By the way, if you do want to get your photos critiqued on the show, the best way to do that is to send them in to Ben at on3legs.com. That's with the word 3. It's down in the description. Make sure that longest edge of your image is 3000 pixels and include the EXIF information so I can see exactly how it is you shot it. Now, what I was going to do, because I forgot to do it earlier, is we're going to have a look at a shot kit before we do the second critique. Yeah, with all that crashing, I missed it on my list. I have I think I've shown you it before. I have a running list that I write out so I don't forget anything during the show. And I missed out on the shot kit, so let's do that. This was sent in by Dave, who I believe is in the chat box. And this was a different way to show his kit. As you can see, this is all the boxes of all his stuff. So he's got a couple of tripods there, Nissi filter kit, a Nikon man, after my own heart there. And then a few other bits and bobs there. Looks like a macro lighting kit, flash kit. Some other stuff on a table. So it's always interesting to see what people shoot with. So if you've got a shot kit you want to share with us, once again, send it to Ben at on3legs.com. We'll get it live on the show. Thanks, Dave, for sending in your shot kit. Alrighty. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so just grab your shot, all your stuff from any kit and put it out on a table or on the floor or something interesting. Take a photo and send it in and we'll take a look. We'll have a sticky beak inside your camera bag and see what it is that you are shooting with. All right, what's going on in the chat box? I can see it's been busy. What is snow? Cradle Mountain. Tassie. It's white fluffy stuff, yes. Spanner. G'day, Spanner. A bit late. Chance, but I've been living in the north part of Arizona. Don't get snow up there. Yeah. The eye is distracted by the building. Yeah, it is. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I can just see lots of chats going on there. Cy Wheeler, g'day from Portsmouth, UK to Cy. Alrighty. Let's jump into the second critique of the day whilst the computer's still working. I'm going to try to. Alright. Now this one was sent in by Richard Higgins. I'll just flip over so you can see my screen. There we go. Richard Higgins sent this one in. And if I go back to the notes, taken at the Joshua Tree National Park in California. Taken with a Sony A900. Great image. I really liked the composition of this image. Straight up, I looked at this and went, yeah, that's nice. If you take a look at that, just a nice composition. Looks like it was taken with the sun fairly high in the day because of the way the shadows are falling. We'll jump into that in a second because I'll have the time somewhere. But the sun was, maybe it was, I think it was, might have been later in the day, but certainly the sun is still fairly high in this shot. So let's have a look at the technical details of the shot, and then we'll have a look at composition and processing. So it was shot with a Sony A900 a 70 to 200 millimeter f2.8 lens, ISO 100 at 75 millimeters, 1/80th of a second at f11. So quite possibly handheld, because it is fast enough to be handheld, but could have been on a tripod. And that also tells us there was a lot of light, that this was taken at ISO 100 at f11 at 1/80th of a second. And it's a nice shot. It speaks to me. I like it. So from a technical aspect, there's nothing there that I would really change. I think everything was perfect. F11's a good aperture because you've got some foreground really close. Given the fact that it was so bright, you probably could have gone up a little bit, maybe f16 or something like that, f14, because that would have just lessened the chance of having anything out of focus because of the depth of field. Because remembering, with a zoom lens, the image is a little bit more compressed and you're more likely to get the depth of field issues at lower apertures. So the fact that you had such a great amount of light, now, if you were handheld, then you're probably at your extremities. If you're on a tripod, then you could have probably gone to f16 pretty comfortably and just remove that risk of having any depth of field issues. Not that I can see any at this point, and the image is not large enough for me to pixel peep. So I'm going to say that there isn't a huge issue, just in the foreground. Right in the foreground here, there's some, but this is at 100%, by the way, that I'm looking at it here, so I'm zooming it in. So just make sure when you send your photos in 3000 pixels on the longest edge, that way I can zoom right in on the pixels. But lovely shot, very nice shot. So let's look at it from a from a processing point of view straight away. I don't know if you can see that up there. Let me zoom into 11:1 and I'll take you up there. And I'm seeing this less and less in the photos that we are critiquing, but can you see that there? What is that? That is a dust bunny. Okay, so, and it's the first thing my eye saw when I opened this image. I went, oh, there's a dust spot there. And it's super simple to remove. Spot healing tool, make it big enough, click it on there, done. Spot gone. Okay, it's that simple. So no excuse. I can see another one sort of here, I think. Yeah, definitely is one there. Same thing. With a sky like this, easy to get rid of. Okay, and we've learnt that trick before where you can zoom in and you can check each part of the image by scrolling through, hitting your on a Mac, it's the function key and the arrows will move through. And if you have a look at the preview up here on the left, see over here, it shows you what part of the image I'm looking at, and it enables me to just go through each part of the image and identify if there's any issues. You can see that zoom right in, by the way. See this chromatic aberration? That is one of the downsides of using a higher aperture. We'll come to that in a second. It's just a side effect, unfortunately, the way the light enters into the camera. Now, because I'm so zoomed in at that 11:1, we're going to see everything. I'll go back to that so we can have a look. I'm just looking for, there we go. I'll find some that's easy to see. There we go. In fact, where I was before was easy to see, wasn't it? Let's go back up here. Just so you can see, yeah. So you see these lines here? You would find that those pixels in the original image would be green or purple fringing of some sort. And when you change to black and white inside software, it looks at the color of the pixels and it changes it based on the color. And there's a lot of different settings in Lightroom. I don't understand it 100%, but I would say that is some chromatic aberration. And the only way to really notice it is when you zoom in tight on your computer and you have a look. And you may not notice it when you share the photo online. So if you're just sharing a photo online, it's not a big deal. However, if you were printing this onto a large canvas, that would be very disappointing when it was blown up on a large canvas. You would see that and you would go, oh no, what is that? And it's like someone's taken a white pen or some white paint and painted around the edges of everything. Now, there are ways to remove it. There's two ways inside of Lightroom. One of them is to click this box here that says remove chromatic aberration. Now, you need a raw file, I think, to do it, or maybe have the profile loaded. I'm just going to see if I can get it to work? No, I can't. But typically, when you bring a RAW file into your computer, this Remove Chromatic Aberration button will allow you to tick it once the profile is loaded. And you can tick that, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The other thing you can do is you can come down to your colors, which is somewhere. Where is it? Oh, because we're in black and white, it's not going to show us. Let's go to color. Can I get the colors up? Now, because it's monochrome, it's not going to show you. So let me jump into another image quickly. We'll go back to the other one that we had, which was Rob's. What you can do is you can work out what color it is and then get rid of it using that. So if you have a look here, if it was greens, for example, now, of course, if your image has a lot of greens in it, you don't want to remove the saturation of the greens because it's going to remove the color out of your shot. But if you've got a photo that has green fringing or magenta fringing, you can actually reduce the saturation on it, and that will remove it a little bit. Now, if you use Photoshop, you can actually use a tool to select all the pixels that are that color, and that's the best way to remove it is in Photoshop. But Lightroom, you can remove it a little bit, either by, you can see now this is available, Remove Chromatic Aberration. So if I click that, it removes it. That's the best way to do it. So just keep an eye out for that in your photos, because especially if you're going to blow them up, that would be very disappointing if you went and you spent a few $100s putting this on a huge canvas. And I've spent up to $500 on a canvas getting a really big one done, and then it had that on it, you would be upset. Same with the dust spots, so just keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, composition-wise, I actually really like it. And, once again, if we put the rule of thirds over, nothing is 100% on one of these intersections, but it doesn't matter because it sort of works. I would have probably liked to have seen a little bit more space to the left of these. So maybe a wider shot, but you're at your widest shot for that lens. But it just works. For some reason, it really does work well. Even the fact there's nothing in the sky. So I just like the composition. Personally, I probably would have shot it a bit wider, but that's my style. But I still like the image. I do like the image. Just be mindful, you need a bit of space around your subject, that's all. So it is a fairly tight crop, and a bit of space would have been better. Same with the foreground. A little bit more space down here would have been better, I think, just to balance it out with the sky. But otherwise, I think it's a great shot. Well done. From a processing point of view, I'm not a big fan of black and white, so I always struggle with it, but I like it. I would be tempted to try and get a bit more contrast into this shot. That would be my only feedback. How to do that with black and white, I would struggle a bit, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. So I'm not a black and white sort of person. Oh, I don't like what that did. Maybe I would try and just get a bit more, maybe with the curves, a bit more contrast in. If I just show you what I've done there, just so you can see. So that was before and that was after. So you can just see how the contrast sort of it's a bit washed out, and then you've got a stronger contrast there. So, once again, I'm not a black and white photographer, so for me, I find it difficult, but I just find that it was lacking a little bit of depth. So that's the before and that's the after. But I think it's a great photo. Really nice shot, and somewhere that is on my bucket list to visit for sure. What a great location. How nice would it be to go there? So, yeah, good stuff. Well done, Richard, and thanks for sending that in. Alrighty, let's jump back across here. If you're not already following me on social media, here's where you can connect with me. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Looks like we got through the rest of the show without another crash. I won't speak too soon, but that's what happens. Just looking at the comments here. You've seen photos of it in infrared black and white, which is really cool as well. Yeah. Infrared would be interesting. Would it be more impactful infrared? Yeah, that's cool. Stunning shot. Love the contrast. Aussie Paul says, the only thing that bugged me was more contrast. Do you mean too much contrast or not enough contrast? Because I think it needed more contrast. So it'd be interesting to see. I think did it bug you that I put more contrast on, or did you think it needed more contrast? Yeah. So well done. Good job, Richard. I think it was a great shot. And yeah, it's good to see everyone's comments coming through as to what they feel would have made it a better shot. All right, well, that's pretty much it for this week's show. We have managed to finish on time, even though we had the couple of crashes. And thanks again to Rob Roy for sending in something for the worldwide sticker board. We've got this now, which is from Vancouver, Washington, which is in the United States, not in Canada. Because I've been to Vancouver in Canada, and I get confused. It is in United States. For us that are outside of the United States, we're not familiar that there's a Vancouver there. So there you go. Well, for me anyway. I've been geographically challenged all my life. Rob, tell your wife she did a great job, by the way, on the magnet. We'll stick that up on the worldwide sticker board. That'll go up straight after I finish the live stream. And if you want to share something to go up on that, you can see it up there. So see if I'm pointing in the right direction. Not me, but there. Well, it's hard because everything's back to front on the preview screen. There we go. If you want to get your sticker up there on the worldwide sticker board, all you got to do is send it through to me at P.o.Box 472, Stanhope Gardens, New South Wales, 2768, I think it is, 2068. Anyway, it's down below in the comments. You'll find it. And send me through your stickers, and we'll get you a pin. It's a little flag that we stick up there for your location, and it's slowly populating. You're starting to see all the flags, and I might do a video on it and stick it up later, but there's quite a few flags up there. In fact, I think I will. I'll do a separate video on it, and I'll stick it up on the channel so everyone can see who is starting to contribute to the worldwide sticker board and how you can get yours in to contribute. I want that thing full of flags from all over the world. Let's jump into the chat box now. So that's why I'm looking over here. That's why it's like a game of tennis, because I've got my camera over here, and I've got my monitoring screen over here. I used to have my monitoring screen over here, but now it's moved. Alrighty, so Aussie Paul says in the original shot needed more contrast. Yeah, agreed. I felt it was a bit washed out. Greg says, great show, Ben. Have a great week, everybody, and thanks for your kind words. Hey, Greg, always tough. Remember the good times, because I'm sure there was a lot of laugh, a lot of fun, a lot of love, and that's, I know it's always tough at that time to remember that, but that's, I think, what I would want people to remember when I'm gone. So remember the good times, and, just know that everyone's here for you, mate. So if you need anything, reach out. Chances everyone have a great weekend. Take care and be safe. Will do. Catch you all next week. Thanks, Dave. Gary. Long weekend in WA, but double demerits. Yeah, we'll be careful. We've got a long weekend here, I think next weekend. So I will say right now that please do not expect a pixel chatter for next week. I'm going to put this computer into Apple. If I have it back by then, great. I will do a pixel chatter, and I will let you know by posting it up in the VIP group. And where else will I post it? I will post it on the page, the Facebook page, and let you know. Anthony, let's show that. Isn't that funny, Anthony? You did that post, Anthony, and it gave me the option to say, do you want to show this? Anthony's trying to spam everybody. Good on you, YouTube. So Anthony's going to be using Instagram this week whilst away in Tassie. You can get him at Anthony_younghusband. Go and follow him whilst he's there. It'd be awesome to watch his trip in Tassie. I'll be following you, Anthony. I'll be keeping an eye on what you're up to. Yeah. G'day, Ryan. Missed it. You can always watch from the beginning. It is pre-recorded. But great to see you dropped in the end. All right, everybody. That's it from me. Hopefully you enjoyed the show this week. Sorry about those couple of crashes. It has been an interesting 6 months putting up with this computer, but I think we've tried just about everything we can without sending it to Apple, so it's going to have to go to Apple. Now, that is going to affect my ability to edit and upload vlogs, so we might be struggling in the next 2 weeks, but I'll keep you up to date on the Facebook page and in the VIP group for those of you that are VIPs, and on the Patreon page. Alrighty. Yeah, hopefully the computer gets better, sort of. Yeah, hopefully. If not, I'll just have to get a new one. Okay. Until next week. No, sorry. Until next time. Get out there and take some photos. Cheerio.